Hey loves, it's me, Love Jones. I am back with another one. Still here in Vegas, as you can see. I want to know what's funny. I've been here a few times, but this time, this is my first time here since all this stuff started happening. And the energy here is completely different. Completely different. Let me just say that I've had some, the worst experiences since I've been here. I thought leaving from Georgia was gonna kind of eliminate all the nonsense, only to realize that the nonsense follows you. And the nonsense is connected to people who can easily be paid to continue the nonsense. And the nonsense has resources to continue to follow you around. And so I almost feel like that's kind of what's been going on here. It's kind of like bullshit that's been following me around. And it's crazy because I was supposed to be gone from here so long ago. So long ago. And I went into Walmart. I was literally just passing through here. Said I was going to stay for a few weeks. I think I had the room for 2 weeks. May have even been a month for the first time, and I said I was going to keep going after that. It's 2:22 on the phone, so that could be significant to this. So yeah, I said I was gonna be gone from here after about a month. I was gonna hang out for a little while and just keep going. But just so happened I went into a Walmart, and never mind. It's like it's a whole bunch of other stuff that happened even before this. But the reason I'm stuck here is just so happens I went into a Walmart and got my mirror knocked off of my car. Like, what a coincidence, right? But then tell me the ETA on my mirror is not until May 29th. So I've just been here just kind of wasting time. Only to find out that the insurance company doesn't want to pay for any of the time that I've been here. And I've been here for an extra 2 months now. People don't have much to do out here. Like me, I see. Might not be the only one stuck. So energy field may have something to do with your energy field. So after I only supposed to spend a month here, this just mysteriously happens and I'm here just wasting time and money and energy waiting for my car to be fixed. And they tell me the ETA, when they finally did give me an ETA on the part, because originally they said it was from March 13th. Oh, that's how long ago it's been. But it never showed up then. So then it was this whole while where they didn't know when it was coming in, and it was just nothing. They put me in a rental car, by the way, so I'm still in this rental car. But the rental car takes twice the amount of gas that my car did. And so I'm here waiting for them to fix my car still. Just waiting. And they just told me the other day that the ETA changed. They said it'll be in about a week. I don't know if that's true or not, because that's when I was trying to talk to them pretty much regarding compensation for all of this extra time, this extra 2 months that I've been sitting here and spending my money on just being stuck waiting for something as simple as a $500 mirror to be fixed. So now I'm here and I've completely ran out of money. They fired me before I left, so this is why I'm on this whole thing. It's been this whole long, just drama filled, just stuff just keeps happening back to back to back to back to back. And I'm gonna explain it to y'all all, but this is crazy. And so here it is. I ran out of money, and then they finally tell me after all my money is gone that they're not compensating me for anything. They're only gonna pay for the $500 mirror, although it's taken them months of me being here. So now money is low. I don't know how much longer this is gonna be. It's either keep paying for hotel rooms or have something to eat or have something to even be able, when I get my car's sitting on a flat tire over there in that collision parking lot. So it's like when I get my car, I still need a tire, I still need brakes. So I'm got this little money left, and I'm got all of this stuff, and they don't want to pay for anything. And so it's to the point now where I've been sleeping in my car, in the rental car that they've given me. Like, this is so embarrassing to have to tell y'all. But I've been sleeping in the rental car that they've given me, waiting for something to be done to my car so I can leave. And it's at the point where I don't even have money to leave. And again, they don't want to do anything about it. But you know what makes it worse? While you're going through all of this, you find them little free parking lots to sit in. And what you realize is nobody's really here to help. They all just playing over you. And y'all gonna see. I'm gonna try my best to get it uploaded on here and just show y'all all the different things that I've been through. Just hanging around Vegas where all this money flowing through, and you just think they'd be so much better about the way they treat people and the way they move around them, and they're not. They're not. From hotel to hotel, I've had the same experience with the so-called security that's not really there to secure anything. It seemed like to me that they're there more to bully you. Even at one of the hotels, the one I just so happened to be sitting right in front of, there was an issue with my car leaving the parking deck. Nobody seems to know what happened. They can't tell me anything. It must be a glitch in the system. The whole time I've been there, the system wasn't glitching. So y'all can imagine I'm concerned about what may be in this car. And I haven't even talked, like, it's been so much other stuff that just led up to this. So much other stuff. And this is just a little small portion of it. So here I am in Vegas, sleeping in my car, trying to wait, or in the rental car, trying to wait until I get my car back. 2 months into this now. 2 months into this. I've been stuck here. And they just told me like a week ago that they wasn't going to compensate me for anything. I mean, I don't even think it was a week ago. And so you just try to sit in parking lots, just pass time by. The free parking lots, by the way. And it seemed like they purposely try to do stuff to push you away from it. It's like they purposely. It's like everybody tapped in. And when I say tapped in, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Times where I've said stuff on my phone or thought certain things and then security popped up right after. You're going to see that when I upload my videos. I wish I could do it now, but clearly this is alive. So I have a page on Facebook that I created because I said I wanted to. Like, I want to say something, y'all. I'm tired of keeping my mouth closed and just allowing this stuff to happen. And it's just been over and over and over, just all kind of stuff being followed by people. Still haven't figured out what's going on with that. So you can imagine how I feel with my car. I wake up to messages saying my car left the parking lot, and I know I was in the room asleep the entire time. And you got security in the parking lot watching you. They see everything going on that you do. If you just so happen to close your eyes, they notice as soon as you fall asleep, they right there to try to say something to you, to try to make it seem like you're doing something wrong. But when my car is disappearing out the parking lot for hours at a time, nobody knows what happened. Maybe it's just a glitch in the system or something. But they see everything else that you do. So imagine that. I don't know, y'all. It's just me venting. Because here I am. Y'all probably noticed me broadcasting from my car lately. And I realized mistakes happen. So for the first little while, it was okay. I'm like, okay, I'm delayed a little bit. They'll go ahead and fix it, and I'll be able to go on about my way, move on to where I'm going. Go and try to find me some type of living arrangement, some type of stability all over again, because I've been pushed all out of that with everything else that's been going on. But nope, that's not how this has been working. That is not how this has worked. And everybody you think is supposed to be on your side, everybody you think, like security, like police officers, like people at your job when you had a job, people that you thought was supposed to have your back. At least when it come down to safety issues, if nothing else, I realize we're not friends. But at least doing your job, you can't even trust them. It's like they working with these people who are deliberately trying to tear you down. And when I tell y'all, they've done a damn good job with tearing me down out of everything I had. Everything. They did that. So yeah, I'm sitting here a little irritated because I was just over in the parking lot. You got 3 hours to be in, but evidently they didn't want me there. The other day when I was there, I had the security guy walking circles around, just kept walking circles, watching. I'm like, what do he keep walking circles around? I'm like literally just sitting here, the parking lot, nowhere near full. It's like you have 3 hours to be there. Why are y'all watching me so hard? And then when I need y'all to be watching something, when I need you to say something about what you see, then nobody seems to know anything. All of a sudden, nobody's watching. But everybody's watching, y'all. They all know something. It's crazy. You can tell everybody move around you just like they know something. And if you have a thought or something, they know exactly when to react off that thought. And that's what I find even more crazy. I can be sitting here thinking about something, and they'll come react off of it. For example, I was sitting in a parking lot over at one of the other hotels, the one with all the clown shit. I was sitting over there in the parking lot and just sitting there like I'm doing now, just sitting here. Two Caucasian men in a truck pulls up, like pointing, like kind of with their truck facing me across the parking spaces, with their truck kind of facing me. One of them turns their flashlight on, shines it directly into my car. Of course, it pissed me off because why would you do that? What are you doing? I ain't the only one up here. It's all kind of people outside smoking, hanging out, doing what they do. And I'm just over there at the side, just watching. I think at the time it was a festival over there, and I was just watching the whole little setup, and just pretty much wasting time because I ain't got shit else to do. So I'm thinking about them. They piss me off. So after the guy shined the camera, the flashlight into my vehicle, I turned my phone on to record. I have a whole lot of recordings of stuff that's just been happening over time. Because you wouldn't believe this shit if you ain't see it yourself. A lot of it. You think I'm crazy. So I just got to the point where I started recording everything. And so when he did that, I immediately was like, let me turn my camera on. So they eventually noticed that I was recording them. Didn't take long for them to notice it. They pulled on off, and as they was pulling off, they were shouting all kind of crazy stuff, ugly bitch, and all kind of stuff. I have that part recorded too. Like I said, eventually I'm gonna try to upload all of this stuff while I can. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm pissed off at this point, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, I probably was thinking a little bit of everything because I was pissed off. And I went to talking in my mind you, I'm thinking, I ain't saying anything. I'm thinking all this in my head about these wannabe police officers and these biker people, the biker boys that's riding around the parking lot pimps, like I done called them. Pretty much everything. Like, and they shining, they flashlights, no, at that time, my bad, let me go back. At that time, I hadn't said anything because it wasn't the security. It was just the people. So I was talking about him shining his light like a flashlight cop is what I'm saying. Keep in mind that I'm thinking this, y'all. Not saying anything. There's nobody out there. I ain't got nobody to talk to. So I'm sitting here just thinking all of this stuff. And I had this thought, he's shining his light at me like they do, like the flashlight cop to do, i.e. that's like security who don't have guns. But it was nothing against them. I'm thinking about the guy who just did what he did for no reason. And then they drove off calling me all kind of names. Me just sitting there in the car by myself, not saying nothing, doing anything. They came up harassing me. So I have that thought. Shortly after I have that thought, security comes up. What the security do? I just so happened to look up 1911. I just seen on the phone 1911. So I just so happened to look up because I catch something at at my peripheral vision flashing. It's the biker people, security people on the bikes over in the corner, just constantly just flashing their flashlight on and off, on and off. Did it like 10 times in my car. So as I'm sitting there processing this, like, this can't be real. This can't be real. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking this, just processing this. Like, no, the security didn't just come up here. They rode their bikes all the way up here to sit over in the corner and flash their light in my face when I just had this thought of this person acting like a flashlight cop, i.e. security. Mind you, again, I hadn't said anything. This is all my thoughts. Just so happen they come right up behind them and flash their flashlight. They didn't come up to help me. So 2022, they tapped in enough to know what's going on to come up and try to be smart about it, but they're not doing their job actually being security, because security would have came up there and checked on me. I'm sitting up there not doing anything, looking at the little festival going on the outside. They came up there bothering me. They pulled in the parking spaces facing directly towards me. He pulled out a flashlight flashing it at me. I didn't have nothing to do with them people. Don't know them from anybody else you may see walking up this street. But security didn't come to have my back. So that's just an example of what I mean when I say they be tapped in enough to see things, and instead they act like bullies. And this has been my experience, not just with that hotel or the other one that I spoke about, but with them all. Like, everywhere that I've been to, I've had this experience with the security. I'm asking myself, do they hire them all from the same place? Like, why do they all have this attitude? Everybody tapped in, but everybody's tapped in and going against me. They don't like me. They're looking for reasons to do stuff to me, and I'm not doing anything. And it's like they all wait. They don't be doing anything, sitting around talking, but when you show up, then all of a sudden, they doing 15 rounds come around. You taking turns watching you doing stuff out of spite. And I'm to the point, it's like, I don't want to be here no more than y'all want me here. Had it been left up to me, I would have been gone. How I be in a parking lot, parked inside of a store, and they knocked my mirror off, and it just cost me everything else I had. Because I ain't have too much with me. My job was already gone. They cost me that already. So I sit here and it's like, how can you go from traveling the world to being homeless in a rental car, being put out of parking lots of somewhere you never intended on being? While the people know exactly what's going on and they contribute to it. Because mind you, I said I'm being followed. I've been being watched for quite some time now. Nobody says anything. Family know. When I had a job, the employers were in on it. People in the city where I was there seemed like they all moved around like they know. You can tell, just like these security people. But everybody just pretends to not know anything until you have a thought and they're offended by your thought, and then they all of a sudden being a bully. So you know, if they tapped in to something as simple as that, then they know a lot of other stuff that's going on. And again, nobody says anything. Nobody tell me what's going on. But I've lost everything in this process of being followed and stalked and harassed in grocery stores and hotels. at my job, making reviews in places that they can't harass me for. Like when I was selling my stuff right before I left, I was trying to get rid of all the stuff, everything I couldn't sell, I had to throw away because everything I had left couldn't go in my car. So a lot of stuff I just put on the trash pile. And so I sold what I could, which was like maybe like 3 pieces. Because I didn't start even trying to sell it to the last minute. It was just a last thought, last ditch effort to try to do something. Um, and so they even go so far as like when you don't respond to something that they trying to do, and they go so far as to make reviews on stuff. So it's like you get harassment in all kind of situations. Driving Uber, all of a sudden people making all of these accusations, they calling in and saying all of these things, harassment, and I don't even talk to anybody. Like, I don't even want y'all in my car for real, but I'm doing this just as a little side hustle, just to make extra money because all of my income they've stripped from me. This is like a whole plan, and I ain't figured it out yet, but this has been ongoing, and I just have so much stuff, so much evidence, and so much stuff to put together. This is like a setup, a sacrifice, something that everybody is aware of, but everybody just not saying anything. So I know I got 30 minutes of just venting about this situation because it kind of irritated me because this is like the 6th, 7th time with security, like being issues with security or them having something to say. So this particular time was like this last time, this that just happened. This guy circled the parking lot so many times yesterday. I knew he wanted to say something. I knew, like I already knew what it was. I already felt the energy. I already seen it. Him just walking circles. So of course I pulled out my phone and recorded him walking around the parking lot over and over again. Parking lot ain't that big. You could have stood in one corner and seen the whole thing, but he was walking circles around it so he can constantly pass by my car. And so I don't know what happened. Looked like eventually he got a call on his walkie-talkie. He had to go. He only had 3 hours in the parking lot, so I was probably eventually pulling off too. So today, I'm up there. Haven't been up there for 2 hours yet. Again, you have 3. It's Tennessee passing by. You got 3 hours, but I haven't been up there for 2 yet. Just kind of sat back. I didn't let my seat back all the way as to like lay all the way back and go to sleep. But I leaned it back just a little bit. And I did doze off for a second. Couldn't have been that long because again, by the time they came, it wasn't a whole 2 hours when they said something. And at that point, when the guy rode up on the bike, and what's so funny is this one in particular, you know, they have winners over there. But this one in particular, I never seen a biker person over there. I never seen a security on bikes over there before. But today, here come biker boy. So I'm sitting there. I dozed off for a second. But by the time he came, what's so funny is by the time he came, I had literally been up for about 45 minutes, an hour. I've been like I dozed off. I literally hadn't got hardly any sleep, y'all. I dozed for just a little while. So at the point he came up, I wasn't up there for 2 hours. So imagine if I wasn't up there in the parking lot for 2 hours at the point he approached my car. But I fell asleep for a second and I had been up for anywhere from about 45 minutes to an hour when he came up. So I probably fell asleep for an hour and I had been up for another hour just sitting there, just looking at my phone, watching videos, watching the sign pass by, and then all of a sudden security drive up on a bike. Never seen a bike before. Been up there several times since I've been here for months now. Never seen a person on a bike before, but all of a sudden security drives up on a bike and he goes, "Ma'am, we noticed you were sleeping. You can't sleep here. You're gonna have to, what did he say? You can go in the building or you're gonna have to leave. You can't sleep here." And so I'm just thinking to myself, I've been up for the last hour. How are you just now coming up here to say something? But I ain't say anything. I want to say something so bad. I ain't say anything. Texas. So I ain't say anything. I just was like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving anyway. Because it's funny because I had the alarm clock set to not even be up there for the full 3 hours. I had it set for me to leave after 2.5 hours. So the alarm was about to go off anyway shortly. Mind you, I was just up there for around 2 hours when he came. I've been up for an hour, but somehow they had just now noticed that at some point I was asleep. And so he pretended the radio in to somebody and say she wasn't asleep, like he was talking to somebody. Because that's the first thing I said, I wasn't asleep. And then I was like, I'm about to leave anyway. Because I literally been up for an hour. When he came up there, it's like, what did you even just see? Nothing. Nothing. So as I'm pulling off, you know what I noticed? Buddy that was doing circles in the parking lot the day before is sitting over at the end of the parking lot. So now it dawned on me, okay, that's what happened. Buddy seen me again. Felt like he was going to say something this time. He wanted to say something yesterday, but he walked that parking lot so many times and they must have radioed in on him and called him down. 3313. He walked around so many times. They probably couldn't find him actually doing his job because he was up there doing circles around me. So they radioed in to him, looked like, and he disappeared. I'm leaving the parking lot after this parking lot person. Again, the first person I ever seen on a bike over there. So I'm not even sure if it was real security. Which takes me to another story at another hotel. They live life like it's golden over there. But I'm going to save that one. So yeah, leaving the parking lot. He's standing over there in the corner. And I'm about to scan my ticket to leave out, and he tries to be nice all of a sudden. "Do you need some help, ma'am? Yesterday you walked circles around the parking lot over and over and over and over and over. And watch me." It's harassment. That's what it comes down to. But today, you get somebody else to come do your dirty work, and you sit up and you play the good person this time. But y'all know immediately when I was leaving out and I seen him, I was like, oh, that's what this is. Okay, I see now. I see now because it made no sense. I had literally been just sitting there watching videos on my phone for the last hour for him to come and say, we noticed you were asleep. What? When? What'd you do? Go take a lunch break and come back? So yeah, I've had the most craziest experiences here. Over where they live their life like it's golden. I'm over there. That's my first experience with the staff. Guy act like he didn't want to touch my hand. Passed me my room key. Set it right there on the counter, close to him. He didn't even have the nerve to push it close to me. But I mean, my money was paid. I stayed there anyway. Noticed a few Caucasian men seem to be hanging out. And you know, when I feel the energy. Y'all know from this channel, y'all know how it goes. We know what's going on. So when they first came out, I noticed them with their frisbee. The first day, but I was parked over, like where it was a lot of cars parked at towards the elevator. So they couldn't just hang out and play out there. You imagine that? Grown man hanging out playing. So they couldn't hang out and play over there. The next day, I think I was doing something to my hair or something. And I got away from where I normally sit right there with all the cars. And I went way down towards the end. And when you know those people popped up, the frisbee guys popped up. And they played frisbee and threw it back and forth and back and forth. And eventually wind up throwing the frisbee over my car. I asked them to move. Can y'all not play frisbee over my car? We knew what they was doing. Like, I knew what they was doing the entire time. I knew what they was there for the day before, and they couldn't, I guess they couldn't do what they wanted to do because there was so many other vehicles. So when I got down there by myself, it was like the perfect time to come down there and mess over me then. Asked him to not throw the frisbee over my car. He says, it's okay, I'm not going to hit it. He don't say, oh, my bad, oh, I'm sorry, my apologies, let me move over this way a little bit. He say, oh, it's not going to hit it. Continue to throw the frisbee. I'm going to show y'all how God works. They threw it for a few more seconds, maybe another minute or two, and a gust of wind blew it out of nowhere over across the side of the building. And what was on the side of that building? The rooftop of another building. And so they were so confused, and that it just ended the whole thing. They eventually went on away. But before they came on out, or I think it was like in between time, they had already been out there, but they left and came back later, and I was still sitting in the same spot, away from everybody, away from all the cars, over there by myself in the corner. And it got hot over there in the corner. The sun was shining like beaming right through my window, y'all, right through the side. So what I do is I moved over to another part of the parking deck. This is a parking, this is the hotel I was paying for, sleeping in, by the way. I turned my car facing sideways across the parking spaces, but again, I'm parked nowhere near the cars. And if I can show y'all the picture, you'll see the half empty parking deck. So I turned my car sideways, only to be sitting there. And a few minutes later, this random car just drives up with another Caucasian man in it. And he goes, you can't be sitting right there like that. You got to turn your car. You got to fix your car. Can't sit there like that. Me thinking, it's probably maybe they security. It's got to be they security, right? So I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm pissed off because I think it's so petty and I know what they doing. but I'm not sure if it's real security or not. And so I'm moving my stuff around that I have in my lap so I can move, and he sits there and just watches me. He don't move. He just sit there and watch me while I move. And then when I get in the parking space, he pulls on off. I was there for a few days. Why was that the only time that I seen security over there driving through the parking lot? That just so happened to be in a regular vehicle, regular clothes. But I'm gonna pull up on her and tell her, nah, you can't be parked like that. You gotta move. Never seen this guy again. So, of course, after the fact, I'm wondering, was that even security that did that? 4041 on the phone. Like, was that even security? So, yeah, when I tell y'all, I've had experience after experience with security, and you'll say, well, it's because you're sitting in that. But this has been in hotels that I've been paying for. A couple of these times, it was the same hotel I just went back to because it was free parking. And that night, it's like a $200 night that I couldn't afford. So, you try to wait them nights out to try to save money. It's like you still have to eat. And at the time, I didn't know if they were going to help me or not, but only to find out just like a few days ago, they don't plan on paying for anything. So, yeah. I've been up here feeling like I've been harassed, stopped, dealing with some of the same stuff that I dealt with back home. Never mind, you know. We're not even gonna go to details about that because this video already at 42:12. And I've only told y'all about the different parking lot situations, the different security that's been harassing me. And that wasn't even all of them. Because there's one that like to coast things. No, they living life like it's golden too on the coast. They had their security in the parking lot harassing me too. Went from one parking lot to the other one. You try to feel safe, so you go up top to the top. A lot of light up there. Half empty parking lot. Matter of fact, this one only had like about 10% full. Big parking lot up there. Only about 10% full. As soon as I turn up there, y'all, remember I told y'all how they watch and they know what's going on and they react based off that. They're not there to help, but they see everything. So I've been driving around for a little while just to figure out where am I gonna park tonight. Where am I gonna park tonight? Decided to go over there. I've been set around in one of their parking lots before, but just randomly sitting there doing other stuff. And the one that you'll hear me say is almost like a truck stop because there's so many 18-wheelers over there. So this time I didn't go over there. I went to the top, was up there for a little while before they actually said something. But immediately when I got up there, security came right behind me. I wasn't up there for like maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Security was already coming up. Slow motion, driving by, looking. I already knew what it was. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, let's not do this again. If y'all don't want me over here, just go ahead and say it. Let's just get it over with. Let me go ahead about my business. They never said anything. They kept going. drove through the parking lot several times, and never said anything, so I just took it as it was okay. Leaned back a little bit, happened to fall asleep. Now I'm over there in a corner now, in a corner away from everybody. Happened to fall asleep, and I hear on my window. Look up. It's two security guys at my window. Can't be out here asleep, man. I have to get out your car and come in, or you're gonna have to leave. Mind you, they have been watching me and driving around me for the longest. Again, to the point where I'm like, okay, they must not be gonna say anything, but they let me get comfortable. Right when I got comfortable, here they come. Two of them together. So I leave the parking lot from at the top of the deck, and I'm like, okay. So they say you gotta get out, come in up there. I don't want you just sitting up there. So I'm gonna go in the parking lot next door, because evidently it's okay to sit over there, because every time I pass by, parking lot is always full of 18-wheelers. So I'm like, evidently it's okay to sit over there. So let me just go over there to that part. I'm just gonna sit over there in the lot with them 18-wheelers over there. Get over there. Immediately while I'm backing up into a parking space, security is pulling up immediately. I have the videos, y'all. Just like all the things I'm saying doesn't come with evidence. I'll eventually post it. But as soon as I start backing into a parking space, security is pulling up with me immediately. It's like they followed me from one spot to the other spot. I park. What they do, they park. They sit there. They look. They don't say anything. Don't say anything. A few seconds later, he just pulls off. Over the next couple of hours, over the next 2 to 3 hours, the two security guards took turns coming through, driving through a parking lot, driving behind me, driving through the lot that I was in, driving around the lot that I was in. Even looks like the police officers joined in. I look up at one point, and I'm not just being harassed by the security who's not saying anything. Again, they ain't said anything yet. They followed me over there. They circling around me, then came back several times over, and within hours ain't said nothing yet. I look up again one time. I'm thinking there's security coming back. It's a police officer. The police officer turned their lights on, shine them bright inside of my car. Sits there for a second, and then pulls off. Don't say anything, y'all. Before I seen the police officer pull up in front of me, like a few minutes before that, I just so happened to look in my rearview mirror and noticed there was a police officer sitting behind me, just sitting. It's like a way you exit the parking lot, but they were just sitting there behind me. As I noticed them sitting there, I went to record, and as I turned my phone on, they started pulling off. And then a few minutes later, an officer pulls in front of me, turn their lights on. Never say anything, just shine their lights on me for a few minutes, and then pulls off. So I'm thinking to myself, like, you gotta be kidding me. This is not happening. This is not. So they pull off, and what do I notice? They circle in tune. It's like they've joined the rhythm of the security guys. They circling like every few minutes. For 5 minutes, 10 minutes, riding around, watching me. Mind you, I'm in the parking lot with 20 other 18-wheelers, and then just me in my car. So finally, the security pulls up the two of them again. Finally, they pull back up. One of them do a circle around me, and the other one shine their lights directly into my car. And they both get out, and one of them tells me, the black one, there's a black one and a white one. The black one tells me I can't be over there in the parking lot, just sitting there. I think he said sleep, and I was like, well, y'all been riding by, so I haven't been asleep. You seen I wasn't asleep. He's like, yeah, but you've been sitting here for like 3 hours now, and you can't just be sitting here. So I'm like, so I thought it was okay for me to just sit here because it's 2018 wheelers over here that's just sitting here. Where they're not sitting here. They have a room here. They're not parked just sitting in their vehicles. 18 wheelers running. Don't know how many of them was running, but clearly you can hear them running in the background. Not only that, I sat there long enough. People walking their dogs. They getting in and out their trucks walking. They in the 18 wheelers. They ain't in the damn hotel. So, they have to justify what they're doing. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'll go ahead and leave. I'm just going to leave. And I was like, so, what's your name? With my camera on, because mind you, when I seen them pull up, I immediately started recording. Like, what's your name again? Security. As he walks off and get in the car. So I turn to the white one, the Caucasian man, and I say, do you have a name? He goes, yes. I said, can I have your name? And he looks at me, turns around, just walks off. Get back in their vehicle. So yeah. That has been my experience. Never mind the people showing up into the restaurants where I'm eating at, talking loudly, trying to throw hints about going to jail and prison, and they've done bad things before, and you think you're gonna get away. Just all kind of little stuff. It's like they trying to send subliminal messages. So I've been harassed at restaurants, parking lots. I pull up and I'm just sitting there, in grocery stores. I have a lot of stuff recorded. Of course, everything that I've been dealing with is not recorded, but I do have a lot of stuff. And I'm going to start posting it because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. And look, I'm already at an hour in. This is why it's like I hate to even have to bring this up and talk about it, but it's like maybe somebody should know what's going on. So this has been my experience in Vegas, and I've been here on a few different occasions, but this time, since whatever this is that's going on that everybody knows about, but I don't, like I've gotten a completely different experience here. Everybody tapped in, everybody have this attitude, everybody find a reason to not like you. Everybody throwing hints about stuff, but they won't come to you and actually say something about it. Same stuff I was dealing with in Georgia. Same stuff. Matter of fact, some of the same cars I was complaining about that I was being followed by, they here too. Imagine that. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking there. I don't know, maybe somebody else is going through something similar to this. You may be being gang stalked, you may be being harassed, you may be going through stuff and not know what's going on, or you may be intuitive and you know what's going on, but you don't have the proof. So take it how it resonates. So yeah, we already at an hour, and that was just me venting about the parking lot situation. So I wouldn't dare go into the other stuff on this video because we'll be here all day long talking about stuff. So it's gonna be a slow breakdown of stuff that's been going on that I've been dealing with. 'Cause while I'm sitting here, I ain't got nothing else to do but sit here, right? At this point, I'm just thinking about going to get my car without even letting them fix it. They just told me, the guy was like, he got a new ETA on it and it should be fixed in the next week or two. But I had an original ETA of March the 13th. So who's to say what's going to happen with this? I'm just thinking about going to get it and just leaving. But at this point, I don't even know how far I'm going to make it, right? 5550 was on the phone. At this point, I've drained everything that I had saved, everything I was moving around with, just sitting here, being stuck here. So I don't know how much further I'm going to be able to move around, even when I do get my car, if I just say forget it and go and pick it up. So yeah, y'all, I need a good attorney. I need a good attorney for other things, but for right now, for my car, because I don't think it's fair that they just say that they're not going to pay for anything after I've been stuck here all of this time and I've spent all of this extra money, and y'all only going to pay for the $500 part. They don't want to pay for anything else. Not all of the months that I've had to pay in hotels, food, extra gas in this big ass car that I'm driving around in. They don't want to pay for any of that. Miss wages, because I could be somewhere trying to drive, but I can't do that because I'm here, stuck in their vehicle. At this point, can't even really live. So yeah, I need an attorney. If you know one, if you tapping into this and you know one in the Vegas area, please let me know regarding this whole car situation. It happened in the parking lot. I wasn't even in the car. They opened their door during a windstorm, and evidently the wind blew it. They agreed that it was their fault. They took blame for it, but they're not willing to pay for everything that this has cost me. And every attorney that I call seems to not want to do anything because there's not an injury. And I've even had the attorney explain to me that they're not going to want to do anything because that's not typically the type of stuff that they pay for. But that's not my fault. That's not my problem. Florida passing by. A lot of Florida, a lot of Texas, some Tennessee, and a whole lot of military vets. People in the military. They serious about that stuff up here. I tell you, they've been representing that American flag full long since I've been here. They serious. So these are some of the most patriotic people that I've ever been around. So yeah, somebody might be out there dealing with something like this too. Know that you are not alone. Know that This too shall pass, even if you can't see how right now. And know that everybody that took part in doing this, everybody played their roles, and they'll all have their day. Like, everybody gonna get their karma. I'm gonna pull a couple of cards because we already at an hour. It's crazy. So let's just see what's in the energy, y'all. Toxic. I see toxic mother-in-law. Somebody's mother-in-law could be toxic. Your mother could be toxic. So take it how it resonates. You found yourself going through repetitive stuff like I have. Maybe your toxic mother-in-law or somebody's toxic mother-in-law that's helping do this to you. Somebody got some pull. White. White could be significant. That could be someone's color. That could be a name. I see family right here trying to make you sick. Don't give up. That's what I see. Whatever you do, don't give up. You know, it's funny because I hear other readers say that, and I always think, well, what does give up mean? Like when stuff is just constantly happening around you and you literally having to roll with the punches and just deal with stuff because you have no control over it. What does don't give up mean? It's like don't unalive yourself. Like what is giving up mean? I don't understand. But anyway, don't give up. That's what the card says. That's what the card says, and I made them. So keep going, y'all. Don't let this shake you. I'm gonna say that. Don't let this keep you down. It puts you down, and you might not understand why this happened yet, but everything happens for a reason. I see unexpected income in here. Could have that coming. Yeah. See security, not just seeing investigation. So maybe someone's taking a look into something. Maybe you're being protected from something. Maybe someone's watching something. Get out. Could be something with the interracial couple. Work husband, work wife. I see mentally and emotionally drained, dissociative disorder. Feel as if someone's always watching. Probably sense that they're always watching. Somebody could be an indigo child. So again, this could be the case where you intuitively know what's going on. You see things that's going on, but you can't put your finger on why. And you may not have the proof of things, but since they see you as a threat. I see Capricorn endings, low key. Somebody's name could be low or key. endings, 1010. Endings, new beginning. So y'all, I've been on here for over an hour, and I know I talked, and it's so crazy because I gave y'all over an hour, and I only like gave y'all a very little tiny piece of what's going on. Just only a little tiny piece of it, and it's crazy. And so yeah, I'll probably come back and be giving it to y'all in pieces as I come. So now y'all have updates to know. You ain't gotta try to figure it out. Although I think a lot of people are aware of what's going on anyway. Now you can hear it out my mouth. Not just talk about it. No. Gossip. Mess. Drama. Set up here. Somebody's definitely trying to set somebody up. Artist. Someone's emotional, and there's something going on with someone's energy field. Seen that a few times. Energy field. So, oh my god. I'm gonna end this here, y'all. I'll be back.